So with the race leader Chamonix Pougela now well to the east of the longitude of New Zealand, it's immediately obvious that the course this year is very, very different to the previous two editions. This time the course does not go through between North and South Island, very different to the previous two editions. This time the course does not go through between North and South Islands, New Zealand. There is no passage through the Cook Strait, which was such a feature of previous races, and that of course was an opportunity for the boats to stop and effect repairs before they completed the rest of the Pacific, and in particular Cape Horn, and we saw many boats stopping over the first two editions. So that reduces the distance of the course by about 2,000 miles this time, and it does add a very different complexion to the Pacific and indeed to the race. Today's animation once again showing the span of the fleet, if you like, the big distance between first and last. Chamonix Pougela still in lighter breezes. Neutrogena is shown there in Bluff by Invercargill, South Island, New Zealand. Gaius, Centros Auditivos and Renault making good progress, just on the edge of that high pressure, but with good northerly breezes, making steady progress today. We Are Water coming into a strong low pressure system. One Planet, One Ocean also making good progress, slightly lighter for them ahead, but good winds today. And Spirit of Hungary looking forward to 3 days of strong southwesterlies, should be able to make some decent progress. And there we see Neutrogena just leaving at just before 5 o'clock, coming out of Bluff at Invercargill this morning, and there you see Chamonix Pougela well ahead. So this Valentine's morning, the ranking at 9 o'clock on the Barcelona World Race, Chamonix Pougela leading by 939.5 miles on the 9 o'clock ranking. Neutrogena going again as of 5 o'clock this morning, also making 6.8 knots, same as Chamonix Pougela. Gaius Centros Auditivos in third, now 420 miles behind Neutrogena. Remember, that was 1100 miles when Neutrogena headed into Invercargill. Renault Captur doing about the same kind of speeds as Gaius. We Are Water going well, 12.6 knots. One Planet, One Ocean, 15.2 knots. Spirit of Hungary, as we said, going quite well now in stronger breezes. Good southwesterlies for 3 days, and they are making 13 knots this morning.
We needed a pit stop in Grove in New Zealand, become an engineer, and then they found was water inside the engine. For some reasons we tried to start the engine quite many times, and then the pump sucks the water, so the injectors they get water, and then they start shortcuts in a few places. So it was a bit of a chain of problems. That was the main problem. So the main engine was not working, which means we cannot charge any batteries. The short team make an excellent job, and in 24 hours they did all this job. They put everything together. They got all the parts, cleaned it, and as well they did it in another part of the boat, like the mast, sails, load more food. So we did it like a small receipt on the boat in these 24 hours. So the guys, they don't sleep, and they work very hard to get the boat ready and start at the right time. So it's thanks to them we have the boat like 100% to keep sailing and keep racing and keep pushing the next 12,000 miles. Our plan is getting the boat getting south, go south, get the first front, push the boat as far as possible to recover, to get back to the miles. And one important thing is don't worry about the other boats, the front one, the ones in back, just to do our own race like we did it till now. And we will see. We have the boat ready to go to push the next 12,000 miles, which is a good thing. So we find a few problems. We sorted, so we're very confident now with the boat. The positive part of the pit stop.
So the main news this morning then, early this morning, that's evening time locally in South Island, New Zealand, well, Neutrogena, that's Guillermo Altadil and Jose Munoz left on cue, restarted absolutely on the minute of 5:22. They had to return, of course, to the point where they suspended racing, but Guillermo told us this morning that things went very well. They could not have had a more effective pit stop, really. It was full Formula One team on the dock as they arrived. He spent some hours with the team just explaining one or two things that they wanted done, but really the whole thing went like complete clockwork. The problem with the engine appears to have been there had been water coming in for some time, and that had in turn caused some electrical shorts. So the engine had a full overhaul. He said that in the end it was like a mini refit within the 24-hour span. They looked at checked the mast over, they checked all the key sails, and they did, in fact, he told us that they had found one or two other small problems that could have been dangerous had they been going on. So complete confidence for Guillermo and Jose in the Imoca 60 now. They're able to go out and push at 100%. He said they're really not going to look at all at the rankings for the next few days. He didn't want to know that Gaius Centros Auditivos are now about only 420 miles behind. He didn't want to know that Chemney Pujola are 939 miles ahead. Just heading out to live in their bubble, push as fast as possible with complete confidence in their boat. Gaius Centros Auditivos then going quite well now, 15.3 knots this morning. They have just over 300 miles now on Renault Captur, so that's good for them.
Vamos a ver, os voy a enseñar, ahora que hay un poquito de calma y ya veis que fuera el tiempo no es malo. Vamos a ver cómo se vive aquí dentro. Mira, aquí tenemos a Willy que está obviamente descansando, que es lo que le toca. Ahí tenemos el stacking, aquí tenemos la mesa de cartas, aquí tenemos nuestro gabán de noche, que aquí dejamos la ropa inmediatamente para ponerse. Y ahí es la zona húmeda, la zona donde dejamos los trajes más húmedos y ropa húmeda o cosas que hemos utilizado y están mojadas. Esto es nuestro interior y esta es nuestra puerta de salida. La otra lógicamente está tapada para que no haga tanto frío. Venga, hasta luego. We are water, we are water, we are water.
Yeah, of course. It's a big, you get very satisfied when you cross one of those great caves. And in fact, to be honest, I have to say that in each cave we have had difficult conditions. So it's clear that it's not easy to cross a big cave. It's not a clear objective, in fact, but we won't put the boat in risky conditions just to gain 5% in the race. We want to avoid very, very difficult conditions for sailing, and that could stress the material. So, but if we are in the 50s, okay, we will be there, and it will be nice for our child to tell them that we were on the 50s. No, not at all. I'm happy to know that, because that means that despite being on the 40s or on the 50s, we could get nice weather conditions. But to be honest, now it's 3 days since we don't see the sun or the stars, and since Good Hope, I think we have seen it 1 or 2 days maximum. We are happy of what we have done until now, but we still don't think we have done the 50%. We still have some immediate objectives, like crossing this depression, and probably coming into the Pacific. It's our first objective now.
So looking now at the second half of the fleet today, spoke with Weir Water, now well past Cape Lewin, making about 13 knots this morning. They are pretty much paralleling down the exclusion zone as it heads to the south east. They're in a little bit of, there's a front just behind them which will catch them, and Bruno was talking about that, just saying they're expecting some stronger weather. Meantime, it's been relatively moderate, a little bit of headwinds just now for them, light northeasterlies, but they have probably 30, 35, 40 knots of southwesterlies behind. This low pressure will catch them. But Bruno on good form, saying that, talking about the really good feeling they get when they pass each of these big capes. The one they're really looking forward to in terms of transition is into the Pacific. Talking about the south, really just saying that their main objective is to try and avoid any undue, increased or high risk situations. So they're tending to be fairly moderate in their approach. Don't really not looking to gain maybe 5% over the whole course. They'd rather preserve the boat, preserve themselves. But looking forward to sailing down into the 50s. If that's where they have to be, then it'll be nice to tell our kids when they get home that that was where they were. He said that they're happy to know that some of the rest of the fleet have got some nicer and warmer conditions at time, but really they've not seen the sunshine since Cape of Good Hope, or only a couple of times really. But overall, very happy with his race. Meantime, things going well for One Planet, One Ocean, 15.6 knots. They're in strong winds, strong northwesterlies, 30, 35 knots of breeze. And as I said before, Spirit of Hungary going well, and 3 days of strong southwesterlies for them.
Good morning, everybody. Today we are the 14th of February, and the boat are seapered by 4,000 miles. So we can have a quick view on all the weather situation. We have a low pressure, a high pressure, a low pressure, a high pressure, a low pressure. And all these systems are moving from the west to the east, exactly like the boats. So we will understand that a bit more when we are going to look to each boat. So for the first situation, for the leaders, so on the map we can see Pujula here, just down of this subtropical low pressure. This low pressure is moving slowly to the southeast, so that means that in a few hours the wind we can see here are going to be more south, and Pujula will be sailing in these strong winds in 18-20 hours, so that will be 30 knots of wind coming southeast for them, so that's tomorrow. Concerning the three boats here, we have Neutrogena, we have Gais and Renault, and they are dealing with this high pressure. This high pressure will be something very, very interesting for Gais and Renault, because the wind is blowing from the northeast, and they're going to help them to go in the east, but the same high pressure is going to give southwesterly winds for Neutrogena, which is going to stop them in order to go south. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to deal with this high pressure. For the boats at the end, we have here We Are Water dealing with this high pressure, with this low pressure. The low pressure is going to move southeast, exactly like the boat. So today, for the next 12 hours, they will have light medium wind around 15-20 knots. And tonight, they're going to deal with 40-45 knots of wind. So it's going to be strong winds for the next 36 hours for We Are Water. Concerning One Planet, One Ocean and Spirit of Hungary, they are dealing with the wind coming from the low pressure located very south of them. And they are having southwesterly and northwesterly winds, which allow them to sail downwind in 30-35 knots of wind until south of Australia, and perhaps a bit more. That we will see that in 2 days.